quick so you can see. Main things are, you don't want to have to add skirm. I backed up when I could have killed you in feudal. When you didn't have fletching, I could have killed you there because you didn't. I mean, obviously we're not playing like it's a 1v1, so you're really only thinking streamline, because team game is just streamlining. You shouldn't have to make 2 types of units so you can counter stuff. In a team game, that's why you have an ally. You both go a different type, you both streamline, and you have the best possible combination you ever could have. If one person is having to fight off 2 different counters, that person is completely behind everyone else in the game now. Let me grab the right thing here. So obviously that's just a mirror thing where I had to upgrade, so I would come in and I would kill your stuff, which happens in team games sometimes. But that's why you have the wall. You would just run behind the wall, basically. You wouldn't take that fight once you saw that I had fletching normally. Also, they should be coming quicker. I came a little later. If it's a team game and you have your enemy or your pocket scout going to you, he should have a scout at you at like 9 minutes, and then scouting in front of you, and you're moving together with scouts and like really low, like 1 or 2 archers can be moving across the field as long as your allies rallying to you, and then you hit them super quick. So as soon as you have fletching, you're just fucking them up basically. But this was a little bit slower, and you can see what I mean with the clunkiness because I had a lot of extra food here. Alright, so this would be wall here and here, buildings here, and wall here. So you have your buildings dropping right away, your gold is safe. I'd be walling this in Dark Age. Now obviously if you had a teammate, you'd be looking for the team wall first, but that's not always ideal. You don't want to be making walls and not making armies, because then what you're doing is you're actually forcing the enemy to go to your other allies with their army. Okay, right now I would say, shit, I wasn't paying attention. Wait, let me redo this. I have a feeling that your berry transition was weird. You seem to have a lot on the boar. So what I try to do is make sure I only have 6 on boar. Now it floats up to 9 when I am pushing the deer, so that I'll have 6 for the boar and then 3 for the... So like right now you should be getting boar. Okay, so you're doing 4. I mean, you can argue either way. I personally do it 3 to wood. Obviously, if you like the 4 to wood, that's fine. It's going to throw the build off a little bit. Like, you'll have a little more wood than I would have. But this is where I'm getting the pig. Then I'll have 4 sheep left over. Even a little bit early, right? Because I have that little extra. You're getting your pig on 5. Okay, so I'm starting to think about my wall with my houses. So your house should be going down right now, right? So you should have them here and here, or here and here. 6. This actually seems fine. It was just the one vil threw me off. So now you'll have perfect. Houses are going down. This is where these 2 should go to berries right away, so that you only have 6 on the board. Because the collection rate, I believe, maybe the math has changed now, but I believe that 6 collecting on board is the best. Obviously, if you add more, you'll get it quicker, but I don't think you get, like, you net more resources. So we've got 4 on berries, and your berries hasn't quite started yet. So I'm maintaining 6 here, and now I'm floating up. 7, an 8th one will pop out, and hopefully a 9th one at the same time that the deer gets there, so that we can split 6 and 3. That's the goal anyways. So it's pretty tight, within about a half a vil of where I want to be. And we actually have this vil, so actually it's fine. It's perfect. Okay. Your deer doing a similar thing, not too bad. The thing I would say though is your boar is being a little slow. I would go to berries a little quicker too, and then make sure that you're really respecting the villager counts on your hunt. So right now we're over hunting the deer. We killed the sheep. But this is all stuff you probably obviously know not to kill a bunch of different herdable type stuff because of the rot. But yeah, just really be careful with that. So see how we're trying to be super tight with it? Even now, right now I'm going, oh damn, my collection rate's not perfect. But this is about to expire and they'll go to boar. And I'll have that 6 again. I like to add 1 extra on berries. Scout rushes for like Franks, it's really, really nice. Because the berries are actually collecting faster than the sheep anyways. So, and then I click up at 21. Now, I didn't put enough on wood here. I only did 10 on wood, and I think 12 on wood is probably better. So I should have taken 2 off berries and put it to wood. So same pot, but I'm up a little bit faster. And let's just pause and check the collection. See if it made that big of a deal. So 150 food difference, and we have the same vills, right? Oh wait, no. God damn it! I do that every time, dude. Sorry, guys. I fuck that up every time. We're gonna go all the way through, though. Don't worry. So, anyways, your Dark Age, I would say, personally, I would prefer if you went the 3 to wood, just so it's easier for me to calculate it, because it's the way I do it. But it's totally fine to go 4 on wood, and if you do go 4 on wood, you eat your wood out in the middle a lot quicker. So, a lot of times, if you start with 4, you can just use 1 lumber camp if you want to. You don't really need 2. So just, you know, clean Dark Age stuff. No, I wouldn't say it gives you 100 more food, but it's just easier to line up for my brain. So right now, you can do it this way. The thing that messed you up is your collection rates. Your vil counts on your hunt is a bit off, right? It's a bit chaotic over here. I would say that's what did it. But then also, I did have 1 more on food for, you know, a couple minutes as well. So there is, it is a bit of both. Now my problem is I didn't put them on the wood. At this point, I should take 2 off and go to wood, so I have 12 on wood. You'll see what I mean once I get up. So we're preparing to protect the gold. We're gonna go to the gold. So right now, we're up, dropping ranges. I can drop 2 range, but you see what I mean? I have 400 food, and I don't really need 400 food, right? I would rather be making my blacksmith and have just enough food to make the fletching. So if we had about 100 off wood, or 100 less food and 100 more wood, we'd be in like a perfect spot. So I think 12 probably to wood. There would have been better. Now I'm starting to make them, but I really want to get fletching out, so I'm going to go blacksmith next. So I shaved off my berries once I realized I was floating too much. So that's just like something you'll have to start paying attention to. This gold mine should be... Oh, I can't make it. It should be here. One space from this, so right here, so that you have this whole space, so you're saturating 4. Right here, you can only hit 2, and then the other ones are going to have to walk around. Just this probably cost you a lot of gold. I don't know exactly how much, but I would say it's a decent amount. So now I have 2 ranges going, and I need to get to 7 on gold. I'm housed, of course, because I'm a noob. I got my wood upgrade. Now we're getting fletching, and we're going to move out with fletching at our first archer, right? So right away, this is where I'm like frantically going, where the fuck is my ally? Hello, 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 where's my ally? Because I want to move out, but one archer can't move out if there's scouts on the field, right? So I have to wait for my pocket to get here with his scouts. Hopefully he's already waiting for me, waiting at my ranges as they go up so we can move out together. That's ideal. I need to get 1 more on gold. Yep, so 7 on gold. And as I add my third range when I'm going up, once I click up, I add a third range and 3 more to gold. So that the saturation is right, the balance is right, and then I can get that little boost going into the next stage, because I want to get to the... My job is to get to the number of archers that can 1 or 2 shot knights as fast as I possibly can. It's not to do anything else. That's my job. Obviously get walled and raid if you can, but you really need that ball more than anything. If you can get some really good raiding early, that's great. So here I would say, for 1, your ranges are split. I would put them together. And I'd also put them like in the front where you think you might be attacked, because some people might start out with man-at-arm into archer, right? So you're going to want something in up here blocking, and you want your military coming out of the same place so that you can get a ball of them easier if something crazy happens, like there's an army in your base. If they get in between your 2 ranges, now you have 2 smaller forces, and they can attack either one or the other and then come back and attack the other one, right? They can split you. So you want your production, in my opinion, close together. This would be a case where you would just run away because you didn't have fletching. So now we have 7 on gold, that's good. You have 8, 12 on wood. It seems okay. It doesn't seem that off. Our vills are the same. The blacksmith was late. That was the main thing here. Blacksmith was late, so I'm trying to get walled as well, because there is going to be, you know, scouts and shit running around. You do want to get that wall if possible. And this is where I did farms. Whoa. I think my farm upgrade is going right now or something, because I wasn't on them yet. Get the farm upgrade, and then I start spamming all the farms when my sheep are running out. Do a little fighting, a little raiding. Once I had a lead on you, then I know I can add a bunch of farms and be completely safe. If you were winning, then I might have to... I don't know, we'd have to find something. You can add skirm, but you really don't want to. If you're gonna die if you don't add a couple, then maybe you add 2 or 3, but you don't want to add a lot. So that was a fletching problem, and now I have a lead, and now I'm gonna add even more farms, right? I'm just pumping farms out. I could also get my... This is probably where I should have got wheelbarrow. I didn't do wheelbarrow this time. I just went straight to castle, because by the time I was paying attention to that, I could click up. So if I don't do it before like 600 food, I don't do it. I just go to the next stage. If I have like 500 or less food, then I'll do wheel. But if it's just going to be me idling for like 10 seconds and then I can go up, I'd rather just go up and get the tech advantage. Because again, it's like fletching for the next stage. So then whoever gets bodkin first can then get a huge swing early and then just kind of chill and get their army numbers up. So in a real game, I would have been running into your base attacking you as much as I could while I saw you didn't have fletching. But this one I backed off because I wanted to show like the full... Okay, so very soon. So about 15 farms. This is, again, I could be doing wheel if I'm paying attention, but I'm just not paying attention to that. Shaved my wood back down to 10 once I could. 10 is really good, but 12 right at the initial start, I think, is the way to do it. Take a little off berries, 12 on wood. Because you really want that blacksmith. You see why the blacksmith becomes such a big deal of getting that out quick. Oh, yeah, Relic. Yeah. So you always want to click on your opponent's army as you're approaching them. So, I know what upgrades I have, right? I should know. So as I'm walking up, as soon as I see them, I should be clicking on one and going, okay, he's got more upgrades than me. He's actually got armor, and I didn't get armor. So I would say, if you feel behind like you did, it's okay to get the armor. Ideally, you don't get behind, and you don't have to spend on armor. So that's another 100 food that I got to save just to go up. Add the third range in transition, 7. So I'm going to take 3 of these and go to gold, because I only have enough saturation on gold to do two range. But by the time this range goes up, I need to have 9. So here these come a little late. New lumber should be made. always good to raid. I like that you pushed out and you didn't just sit in your base, so it's good. Push out and you can always want to run away, right? Well, it's easier and harder in team games because if you have a good scout ally and they can scout for you a bit and kind of direct you where to go, it's quite nice. But you always have the potential of enemy scouts coming. This you should have ran away because I had so much. I would say test the waters, right? Test their micro, see if you can win with a smaller force. But if they're microing good, I would say just back up, sit on the hill, call your allies, stuff like that. Once I'm up, obviously you run, you know that. This is also the timing where like knights could be coming out too, right? So it's a good time to back. Early feudal you do a hit, and then you kind of back up as you think the enemies are going to be getting castle if you're not full pressuring, right? Ideally, when I attacked you here with the fletching, then my pocket would come in with scouts, and we would just snowball and have scouts and archers running around, causing havoc. Okay, so we've got 3. We're dropping University and TC. If I was feeling behind, I wouldn't drop the TC, and I would continue archer production. But since I was ahead, I knew that I didn't need as many archers right now, so I could use the wood on the TC. So this is where I'm taking an advantage now from the lead. Otherwise, I would have just, you know, done this, kept making army, and then when I can, I would start adding TCs. But it's nice to get them both out. So we're going to get ballistics coming in now. What's your farm count? 16, not bad. Just about right. Your gold definitely messed you up big time, though. Because now you're actually having to put 12 on. Right, you've got 12 on gold, which is oversaturation for 3, and you don't quite have enough gold. I think a lot of that is mine placement. For example, like this mine, a mining camp should be here. This mine, a mining camp should be here. This mine, here, here, either side. Anywhere we can have a lot more coverage. And then we're doing TCs. Third TC is going to come out, and 3 range ballistics. You just run around killing knights. Once you have ballistics, you can just pick their knights off, right? Their knights are going to be trying to be tanks in the way of the archers, and you can just start killing the knights. Before that, you really don't want to be focusing on the knights. You want to be focusing on the archers, because they're going to be harder to dodge. They're going to have a harder time dodging than the knights will, right? So knowing that, I know that you're good with the micro. We've done a lot of the micro sims. You want to treat it the same way, where if you're the scout player here, you're running scouts around, right, side to side, always dodging the enemy archers and then pulling them hopefully into me. So you'd be running side to side and then running towards me, but away from me if knights came, because you don't want to run directly to me and close the gap. We want the knights to run away like over here, then I'm shooting, and then he has to close the gap onto me if he wants to attack me, right? A lot of people, they'll just run right on top of your crossbow, and you're like, thanks for bringing the knights on top of me, dude. Now, if you're using it to block, that's a different situation. If you're on stand ground and you're getting around the archers, that would be if you see the enemy knight player focusing your crossbow player, right? If they're not chasing you, then you need to be on top of them. But you do want to do runners if you can. A lot of times you can. Anyways, but you see how close the eco is? Our eco is within like a couple hundred. It's not, it's just a couple little things. You're not far off. Nice. What up, Blade? Thumb ring or ballistic? Well, that's a hard one, because thumb ring, if they're really bad players, thumb ring is cheaper to get to, right? Because you don't have to make a university, and then you don't have to wait for that upgrade. You can just click it right away. But thumb ring's only going to help if stuff's running right at you. So if they're dummy running and attacking directly at your crossbow, then thumb ring is better. But most knight players are going to be running around dodging, which is why you'd want ballistics instead. Hey, Yeti with the $25. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. That's nice. I like it. All right. Easy answers ballistics. Situationally, I would say thumb ring. Maybe even, man, it's so hard because the micro's gotten so good that you can dodge ballistics. Like, it's not really that difficult to dodge ballistics. So maybe thumb ring is just better. That's definitely debatable. It might. You never know. I mean, it seems so basic to me the way team games should be played out. If people are just playing this certain style, the streamline and teamwork style is going to beat the other styles. It's just really hard to get people to do that. All right, you want to try archers again, or do you want to do the scout, or do you want to just jump into team game? Yes, it's very bad, but very good. Well, thumb ring is never bad. Thumb ring is never bad, right? If you can afford it. The thing is, around that time, for 300 food and 300 wood, you could have a second TC, and you could have vills pumping from both TCs for a little bit. So, unless you have a super big farm count, I would say it's better to drop the TC and use the food for vills. So, it's bad in that sense, but the upgrade is obviously really good. It's going to be shooting faster and more accurately.
What's going on?
This gross bug lady is my new friend.
I'm learning many things, like I'm a pet and ugly.
Thank you for the follow. So I'm going to change mine up a little bit too. I'm actually, last game I did only 10 on wood. Usually I do 12. So you overfloat slightly onto the berries, and then you can take 2 off because you've overfloated on it with that 5th one. And I neglected that last game. So we'll try it this one. Brit flank. Brit flank is my other favorite. So Ethiopian and Brits are great. Brit for Wolf Hill is like downright OP because there's so many sheep, right? It's pretty nice. And if you make it to castle, then the Brit has the advantage. But in Feudal Age, the Ethiopian has a really strong advantage because their archers are attacking faster. So if an Ethiopian can get on top of a Brit, the Ethiopian is better. If if the Brit can stay at range, then the Brit's going to be better after their castle, right? But before that, they're not any better. They're worse. The thing that would make them better would be like the map. So like Wolf Hill, they have more sheep. You would hope that they would get up quicker. They would have less problems making vills from idling or anything. Ethiopian is just so sweet. You get that extra food and gold. There's almost no excuse for not getting fletching immediately with this civ. I can't imagine, unless you're like drushed or forwarded. Yep. The other thing about Ethiopian though is super late, like post imp. I think I prefer them over Brit because they get siege onager. And you can help clear lots of different armies, where Brits kind of, I feel like they fall off, but that's just me. You should really probably be ending before Brits fall off, obviously. So 6, and then we're going to go 3 to wood. I guess will have to remind me to talk through the build. I'm really bad at doing that. So we got 3 to wood, 6 on sheep. Now we're going to go to the board. After the Boerville, we want to send a Ville out to make houses. So our gold is here. This is our thing we need to protect. So house, house, wall. If we're thinking with our expert brain. So I want to maintain only 6 on that. So 6 now. I'm going to walk to the farthest point since I've got 2 of them there. Then I'll make the mill between. We'll shift rally these to the berries we want them to be on. Next Ville, this is getting about halfway down. We've got 6 Villes on it, so we want to go to the next boar. We've got 4 in berries. Uh-oh, does he have a bad map here? So this is where I should already have that coming in, but I don't, so I'm going to go extra float the berries, because I want only 6 here, and I have way too many. I couldn't find my ostrich. That should have been being pushed already. I think I'll actually go on the sheep. Wait, am I looking at the wrong... Oh my god. I thought my boar was running out of food, but this one's actually got a lot of food. Oh my god. Whoops. I didn't have to eat the sheep. It was fine. So 21 pop, get loom. Okay, we're gonna click up. We're gonna send $12 the wood. Gold. Now that I have my barracks made. We're really trying to save all this food up so that we don't have to make farms, basically. Instead of making farms like you would with a scout rush right away after your stable, we're going to be making a range and a blacksmith. 2 range and a blacksmith. So we're going to have to spin more wood. But that's fine because we don't need as much food. Okay, so 9 minutes, we're dropping 9:40. We're dropping our range. We're using our berry villes because those aren't affected by rot, right? So it's fine if we peel from there. Here, I don't really want to. I really want to start more. Making archers as soon as we can. Let's find our enemy. Got one out. This upgrade's going to take a little bit, so I'm going to delay. Get my blacksmith out. Now we've got 6 on sheep. We have that saturation good, so now we'll start going to gold again because we want to get to 7 on gold, right? I say right, but I guess this is a build tutorial. I should probably just be saying, do this. Do this thing. Fletching next. Wood should have been upgraded. That was a big bonehead move by me. That should be the first thing you do. So then the goal is to have fletching out as you're pushing out with these archers as soon as possible. So 12 minutes we're moving out with archers and fletching. We're not quite saturated here yet. Always getting walled. We're at 6, so we need 1 more. Whoops. I don't know where Yeti space is. Now we're getting close to our shepherds being finished. Right, you can go this way. We want 4 to 5 on berries, so we're going to start dropping farms. Now that we can do the upgrade here. Sort of praying that he doesn't get over here quick enough. Okay, and then we're just going to farm out. We've got 10 on, now we have 12 on wood. Always shaving these down now. Continuing making the archers. Okay, now we only have 1 spot we have to maintain is over here that's open. Everywhere else we can kind of ignore for a little bit. There he is. So my army's somewhere else. Which means I have to do a panic tower, but maybe I'll get more damage in. We'll see. The tower is, I don't have army, I don't want to lose vills, right? Immediately. Now we're safe, and we have a raid on him. And now we're going to move out from that same position. He's going to be coming back towards his base. Whoop! Good job. Okay. So we lost quite a bit. This is quite scandalous. Nice job. So in a 1v1, this is where I'd be adding skirm, but we're practicing team game builds, so I don't want to be making any skirms, ideally, because there's going to be scouts and knights on the field, right? So that was a great cleanup for him. We're going to have to do a third range a little early, because again we're behind. No, I think he's just upping. We're floated. This is going to be a drop siege workshop first. So if you're mirroring and you're not going to go counter unit versus archer, if you can't quite make the archer count high enough again, you will have to... Oh, you know what? Damn, he's not... Woo! I'm not even going to have the luxury of making a siege. So that was kind of fortunate that he threw his army. Resaturate on everything. I need everything fixed, because that got crazy. This is going to be one of those ones where I feel behind, so I'm going to get thumb ring and ballistics and not go for eco. But now, so this can be good because our army's strong, but now we have to do damage, basically, is the problem. But that's fine. Sometimes this is way better than just dropping TCs and playing from behind, right? So now we're back to about 10 to 12 on wood, and we want only 9 on gold, because we only have 3 range. Alright, now we've got full upgrade, so we'll try and do some damage here. I see him over there to the right. Get eco upgrades.